I wonder how many of you remember the Fighting Fantasy gamebook series that was created by Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson back in 1982, published by Puffin. You may remember some of the very striking book covers that came out at the time. The one that really jumps to my memory is the Forest of Doom, that creature. I can remember that from the Puffin book club that we were in school. I never owned that one, but I always remembered that cover. Well, I've fallen in love with these books all over again now in adulthood, and there seems to be a community here on the internet that still loves these things. And they've now been republished actually by Scholastic in recent years, so that's a whole new generation will hopefully become interested in fighting fantasy. So these were game books, choose your own adventure books that involve different forks of the story taking you to different places. And they had a combat system, but I'll be perfectly honest that I never did the combat system. Well, I rarely did it back in my youth. It was just too time consuming to roll the dice and keep track of scores. I just wanted to get on with the adventure. But the adventure does lack a degree of tension if you don't actually engage in the combat. So I've been learning a language called Scratch on the computer. It's something that I use in my job, which involves teaching children a bit of programming. And I set myself the task of recreating the combat system from Fighting Fantasy within this programming language. So this is the result, and it fully works. I'm going to show you that now. So at the beginning, here's roll stats. I've currently got 11 and 19 and 9. And it does work with the rules of Fighting Fantasy. So for skill, it gives you 6 points plus 1 dice roll, so you have potential of getting 12 or a minimum of 7, which is 6 plus 1. Stamina involves 2 dice rolls plus 12, and luck involves, just like skill, 1 dice roll plus 6. So let's roll the stats and see what we get. Okay, good, I got 11. I got 19 and I got 7. Not very good on luck, but skill is the most important one. If you roll 7 with skill, you're not going to do very well in the battles and you're not likely to complete the game. So thankfully I don't have to cheat. I've got 11. So when you encounter an enemy in the book, you adjust the enemy skill and enemy stamina levels over here. So I'll leave the enemy skill at 9 just to give myself some kind of slight advantage, which is normally what happens in the book. I'll give the enemy a little bit more stamina. So let's click the fight button and watch what happens. Two dice for me, 2 dice for the enemy. This cute little goblin here. So ouch, that's 2 stamina deducted from the enemy. At this point I can, if I wish, use luck or just continue. So if I use luck, what happens is these 2 dice roll and I'm trying to score equal to or less than my current luck score. So I've got to get a 7 or under. That's going to be hard. If I get that, the enemy will lose another 2 stamina. If I fail, the enemy will only lose 1 stamina, so he will regain 1. He'll be back up to 10. So let's use luck and see what happens. I did well. So there's the enemy stamina now down to 7, and I get 1 luck point deducted. Right, let's fight again. This time it's ouch on me. My stamina is down to 17. I can again try and use luck, which I will, to try and minimize the damage. I can get a point back. If I'm successful, I'll get 18. If I'm unsuccessful, I'll lose another 2 points. I'm likely to be unsuccessful, but let's just show you the program working. Oh, I was okay. I got exactly 6, which is what I needed, and 1 luck point deducted. So let's fight again. Okay, I win against the enemy. Let's just continue this time. I win again. Continue. And 1 more should get him, but it might go to me. Yeah, ouch on me. So again, let's try to use luck here. And again, I'm likely to be unlucky this time because I've only got 5 luck, but let's see. I've got 16 stamina. If I'm unlucky, and I am unlucky, stamina goes down to 14, luck point deducted. So I just got to get 1 more stamina off the enemy and the fight is over. There we go. Oh, sorry, there's one more left. I am victorious. And the fight is over. So that's much faster than using dice. And when you encounter another enemy at another point in the story, you just leave your own stats alone and you increase the enemy's stats to whatever it says in the book, and you click fight again. And on it goes. Some fights in these books have special instructions like rolling one die, deal extra damage and things like that. So I've tried to incorporate that into this. If you click any of these dice, they will roll and they'll give you a result. So none of these affect the stats in any way. You have to manually adjust the stats. So let's say it said if you roll a 6, oh, I got a 6, you get an extra point of damage off the enemy. You would have to deduct it manually like that. And these special fights have individualized rules, so there's no way to incorporate that in any kind of automated fashion into the code of this. So that is how this works. That's the Fighting Fantasy combat system. I'll just briefly show you under the hood here. If I click on, there's the fight procedure. None of this will probably mean anything to most of you, but that's part of the code of the game. There's the luck procedure, and there's a bit more than that here, there, and everywhere. So I really enjoyed coming up with this, I gotta say. And the beauty of it is, it's not just for me. This code is available to use by anybody straight from the web. So just click on the link that I've put in the description below, and you can do your own Fighting Fantasy adventures using this tool without any installation or any account registration. Just click the link. It's ready for you to use just like that. Alright folks, take care, and as they say in Fighting Fantasy, may your stamina never fail.